Hello, and welcome back to another video of original Nintendo DS games that I want to spend some time showing off. Last time I mentioned that this video will contain two games that are not on my top 10, so we will not be visiting the top 10 this video, but the two games I'm going to show off are both games I like quite a bit, but I would consider them flawed gems. Games that are very interesting, perhaps even a little bit strange, but not perfect. You know, they have some pretty serious flaws to them. One of the games, despite its flaws, would go on to be massively successful. So even though it's not on my top 10, that game had like 3 or 4 more sequels on the original DS alone, and then went on to have even more games on the 3DS. So we'll get to that though in a minute soon. So let me just switch over to the vertical view and let me boot up the first game. So this first game was not a big success on the DS. I want to say it sold okay, but it was more of an interesting novelty than like a good DS experience. So this game that I'm about to show you was originally on the PlayStation 1, and it's quite a famous PlayStation 1 game, and it got one of the strangest ports I've ever seen to the DS. And some of you may already know what this game is. Yeah. This is Resident Evil Deadly Silence. This is a weird port of the original Resident Evil. In some ways it's how do I put this? In some ways it's much improved over the original PlayStation version. This version of the game adds things like a quick turn, which I don't believe there was a quick turn implemented in any of the versions of Resident Evil 1 for the PlayStation. I don't even think the director's cut has a quick turn function. I don't think quick turn became a thing until Resident Evil 2. And also a manual reload that does not require you to go to the inventory menu, the inventory screen. So also, they made the knife the most useful it has ever been in a classic Resident Evil game. I will get more into that when we start playing the game, but yeah, here is my original copy. I played the shit out of this because I just genuinely really like original Resident Evil 1. It is a game that I've probably finished this game overall about 10 times, spread across different platforms. I think I've finished it 3 times on the original PlayStation. I think I finished it at least twice on the Saturn. And I think I have finished it around 5 times on this weird DS version. So this DS version is so strange. I'll get into it. Let me just check the settings. So we've got type A, type B. So yeah, you can see here they have mapped reload to a face button, which is crazy for one of these games. I like this one. This one seems good. Blood color, red. Microphone sensitivity. So, I forget how the microphone plays into this game. I want to say if you play on a specific mode of the game, you will attract monsters that are in the vicinity to your position, or you will aggro monsters that have otherwise not seen you if the microphone picks up too much noise, I want to say. Like, there are times in this game where you enter a room, and while there are enemies in the room, they have not aggroed towards you because you either have not approached them close enough or they have not seen you. And I think this microphone functionality actually plays into that. So let's leave that to normal. Some of you might notice the FMV at the start there was very lacking in color. There was a lot of very noticeable color banding and dithering in that little FMV sequence there, a lot more than there was in the original PlayStation version. And some might say, well, the DS probably can't display as many on-screen colors as the PlayStation 1 can. But I've done some research. I've done a little bit of research into this. Let me just bring this up. So, while you are partially correct that the DS's color palette is not as broad as the PlayStation 1's, the DS can in fact display just as many on-screen colors as the PlayStation. And in fact, because the DS is dealing with a much lower resolution per screen than the PlayStation, like sub 240, a greater number of the pixels on screen can have independent colors. Hang on, let me bring this up. Can I bring this up? Hang on. Oh my god, window capture, that's what I want. Oh my god, keyboard. Here we go. That'll do. It's very rough, but I did a little bit of research, and so yes. PlayStation 1 24-bit color palette, 16.7 million possible colors in its palette, but can only display 32,768 on screen at any one time. 480i maximum possible video output. If we're talking about NTSC systems, which most of them were, we're talking about roughly 300,000 pixels on screen. If you were to assume that the horizontal resolution was somewhere around 640, although honestly, when you're talking about old analog resolutions, typically the horizontal resolution would be hardware defined, so 240p, 480i is hardware defined, but the vertical resolution would be hardware defined, but the horizontal resolution would be software defined. So even though a game may be running at quote-unquote 480, there's a good chance that there is significantly less than 640 pixels width to that image. So a game may in fact use non-square pixels for its display. Whereas the Nintendo DS, only an 18-bit color palette, which is just over 260,000 possible colors, which is significantly less than the fantastically less than the PlayStation. But same number of on-screen colors. And because we are dealing with twin screens, even if you combine the screens, which are both 256 by 192, since because they're dedicated screens, they are digital displays. It's not going through an analog converter. 49,000 per screen, even if you were to combine them, that's still only 98,000 individual pixels across both screens. So you would that 32,000 individual colors would go a lot further. So my main theory for reasons why this game seems to have much shittier color depth to the PlayStation 1 version of the game is because production costs. Nintendo, when licensing a game for the DS, Nintendo offered a set selection of cartridge capacities. I think they went all the way down to 8 megabytes. So I think it was they offered an 8 megabyte cartridge, a 16 megabyte cartridge, a 32, a 64, a 128, a 256, and a 512. Very, very few Nintendo DS games ever came out on the 512 because that was the most expensive one to manufacture. So a lot of Nintendo DS games would employ methods to compress down the game as much as humanly possible to try and squeeze it onto the smallest cartridge possible to save on manufacturing costs. And I believe that is what happened to this version of Resident Evil. So this version of Resident Evil comes on so if you were to look at the ROM says 128 megabytes. So, hang on, what is the... Oh dear, I should have done this research before I started this, but no time like the present. Let's do this. So 128 megabytes for the Nintendo DS ROM. So it came on 128 megabyte cartridge. How big was the original PlayStation image file? I wonder. Let's check that out. We can find that out. We have the technology. PlayStation 1. Here we go. Okay. So, I'm looking here at the original PlayStation 1 image file for Resident Evil, not the director's cut, standard Resident Evil, 680 megabytes. So they crushed down 680 megabytes of assets down to 128. Now, some of that's probably using more modern compression techniques, but I bet an awful lot of that was just squeezing out as much like color and like audio definition as they could get away with. So you will notice a lot of scratchy sounding audio in this version of the game. So let's get into it. So you can see here in this screen, we've got classic and rebirth mode. So classic mode is just traditional meat and potatoes Resident Evil 1, exactly as it was in terms of enemy placement and item placement, as it was on the PlayStation 1 when it first came out. Rebirth mode is a special mode just for the Nintendo DS version. This is not the same as the extra mode added to the director's cut. This is different from the director's cut version of the game. So now there are, as far as I know, 3 different officially released modes for Resident Evil 1. Original Vanilla, Director's Cut, and Rebirth, which is exclusive to the DS. So For the sake of showing this game off as much as possible, I'm going to select Rebirth because everyone knows what standard Resident Evil 1 looks like.
Resident Evil DS.
Deadly Silence, another example of a DS game having a subtitle with words beginning with D and S. There certainly was a lot of that. So yeah, you get your standard selection. Chris is hard mode, Jill is normal. That is a nice thing because that is a detail they did not add in the original version of the game. In the original PlayStation version of the game, there was no like text telling you which character was harder than the other. So we're going to play as Jill. Jill's my favourite character anyway. Jill's amazing. I'm going to zoom in. Oof.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission. No, I haven't found it yet.
The FMV, not only is it running at a much lower resolution because of the lower res screen, but it's pillar boxed and letterboxed.
A group of about 10 people.
Thick borders.
Apparently eaten. Bravo Team went to the hideout of the group and disappeared.
The DS is perfectly capable of running full screen video, but this was clearly done in order to squeeze it onto a smaller cart. That colour banding, oof.
It was Bravo Team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But
oh, that colour depth, damn. It's black and white for God's sake, come on. You can get away with more colours in a black and white video.
Hey! Come here!
Like, this almost looks like Game Boy Color FMV. That's right, there's FMV on the Game Boy Color. Now this I take it back. This looks more like Mega CD, like video compression. This looks like something you'd see on like the Sega Mega CD or something.
Jill, run for that house!
I love this intro so much.
Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine. Barry Burton. Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker. Resident Evil.
Man, those videos look so hideous. That color compression was so aggressive. Oh my god.
What is this?
Wow, what a mansion!
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Chris is...
What is it?
Maybe it's Chris. Now, Jill, can you go?
I'm going with you. Chris is our old partner, you know.
Okay, let me handle this. Stay alert!
A dining room.
Yeah, they weren't quite as aggressive with the color compression on these backgrounds, but it's still pretty. Yeah, the level of color reduction done to these backgrounds is still pretty intense. Still can't get over how bad that FMV intro looked though. That intense color banding, like despite being a black and white video, you can get away with fewer colors on a black and white video. You don't have to like compress it so aggressively as they did, but I guess they must have been really, really, really desperate to fit this game into 128 megabytes.
What? What is this?
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
I was so glad to find out that they didn't fuck with the voice acting. It appears someone at Capcom knows that the voice acting in the original Resident Evil is fucking beloved. Adored even, that they didn't dare touch it. They didn't dare try and fix the voice acting. If only whoever put out more recent releases of Symphony of the Night understood the same way that sometimes you don't fuck with bad voice acting. Sometimes that shit is just key to a game's entire thing. So, let's get to a position where you can see Jill quite well. Okay, so the controls, more or less the same as they are on the PlayStation. I want to say the controls are actually a little bit nippier. So, Jill, I'm holding a direction. Jill will actually rotate a little bit faster in this version than she does on any of the previous versions of this game. Same with like bringing her gun up. The animation is a little bit faster. You can press down and B to do the 180 turn. And also, if I press the left bumper, if I hold down the left shoulder button, she immediately brings out her knife. You no longer have to equip the knife. The knife is no longer an item that is in your inventory. It is just a passive item that you always have equipped and will always just immediately bring out when you hold down the left shoulder button. And this makes the knife so much more practical for use because you can just very quickly just if an enemy is stunned, quickly bring out the knife and give them a couple stabs, maybe save some bullets. This is such a good addition to this game. Oh my god. I kind of want someone to go back and mod this back into the PlayStation version of the game because oh my god, this helps change the combat so much in this game. It's faster. You can be more aggressive. But also another thing you've probably already noticed. In fact, I'm probably certain you've already noticed, but the map is always visible now. The map is always visible on the top screen. One of them... So much time in the original game, so much time was lost. Hang on. So much time was lost going to the inventory screen just to look at your map, you know? Now that's no longer the case. You can just, it's always there visible. Some people might be surprised to see that the map is on the top screen and not the bottom screen, because typically 9 times out of 10, if a DS game was to use one of the screens as a map screen, it would almost always be the bottom screen, because it just made most sense. You want the action, the screen that's got the actual action of the game on to be closer to the player's face, which would mean putting it on the top screen, surely. But there's a reason for that. There is a reason why the touchscreen is the screen they chose for the main gameplay. So here we go. Let's do this. Oh, this is full screen, by the way. This is no longer pillar boxed and letterboxed. Run over, stab that motherfucker, make sure he's dead. He's dead. So check this out. Oh my god, come on. Reload? Hang on, what was it? Yeah. B to reload, right? Cancel dash. Or it might be because I haven't got any extra ammo on me just yet. Kenneth from Bravo team. He's a shadow of his former self. I noticed that cutscene that just played was the director's cut version of the cutscene. In the original PlayStation release, the shot of his severed head dropping to the ground was not in there. They re-added that. They added that in, or back into the Western version for the director's cut. So, as far as I know, they are using director's cut versions of the cutscenes. Take this ammo. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any extra clips on me. That's why I didn't do it. But yeah. Now, manual reload. That's fucking huge. Just, oh my god, so much time in this game would normally be spent just, I've got to reload my gun. If you wanted to reload your gun manually to make sure you had the maximum number of bullets for the next encounter, you would usually open up the inventory screen, manually go over to your gun, select combine, and then select ammo. And that's how you traditionally would manually reload. It's super slow, super clunky, not very, not a very, what's the word? Not a very stylish solution. They straight up add in a manual reload with the face button. That is so huge. Again, that is also something else I want modders to go in and add back into the PlayStation version of this game. So while this game has like lots of very strange downgrades, so like obviously like resolution is lower than the PlayStation version, color depth is a lot lower than the PlayStation version, audio quality is a lot lower than the PlayStation version, all in service of squeezing the game down as small as possible. The part where you actually play it is like super, like this is the most playable version of this version of Resident Evil 1. Like this is great. Like your general movement speed is quite a bit faster than it was on the PlayStation. Like they just map the knife to the left shoulder button, which is incredible. There's a manual reload. This is such an improvement. Such a huge gameplay improvement. Also, skippable door sequences. Yeah, skippable door sequences.
Monster!
Let me take care of this. What is it?
Kenneth was killed too. Maybe by this creature.
Oof.
Anyway, let's report this to Wesker.
You can hear the audio compression in her voice. You really can. Oh, before I go, I'm going to grab this. No, I'll come back for it. I'll come back for it. It's not important. So yeah, skippable door sequences.
Wesker! Help me look for him, Jill. And don't leave this hall for the time being.
Okay, let's do this. Let's go up the stairs, walk around, come back down. So yeah, so the door sequences in the original PlayStation version were there to hide the load times, right? You would watch this little cutscene of a door opening while the game was loading up the next room and possibly any enemies that were in that room in the background. And it was, while yes, it did add a certain amount of atmosphere to the game, after you'd seen your 50th door sequence, it started getting a little bit old. I cannot deny that. But since this is, the DS game cartridges are solid state media, there's no disc to spin, and, read with a laser, the load times are a lot faster, enabling you to just skip that shit.
Find anything, Jill?
Nothing. What is this all about? I can't figure it out at all.
Beats me, too.
Now it's Wesker.
Now it's Wesker's time to disappear.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, it can't be helped. Let's search for him separately. I'll check the dining room again.
Okay, I'll try the door on the opposite side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could get into trouble if we get lost. We should start from the first floor, okay? And Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
Jill is the master of unlocking.
Thanks. Maybe I'll need it.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. This time I'll be there.
Okay, well, we're going to follow Barry because I've got something I want to do in that room he just went in. So yeah. So yeah, the music sounds like it's been heavily compressed as well. This is a, yeah. If it wasn't, if Capcom just went for just one cartridge size up, if they went for the 256 instead of the 128, this game could have looked so much nicer. Just free up some space to have some more colour depth, please. But no, they cheaped out and went for the smallest cartridge possible. Okay. It's this one up here. Yep. Skip that. So, the concept of a Resident Evil game, like a traditional Resident Evil game being ported to a Nintendo handheld, had been around for quite a while. There's quite a famous tech demo for the Game Boy Color out there running around, where at one point Capcom was kind of playing around with the idea of porting Resident Evil 1 to the Game Boy Color, of all things. It is like, you can find this tech demo ROM. It leaked, and it's kind of, it is a terrible version of Resident Evil 1, but it's also kind of impressive considering it's running on a Game Boy Color of all things. Obviously, like, all the backgrounds are reduced to like 16 colors. So the color compression is way more like aggressive for that than it is for this. But I think 16 colors is the maximum number of colors the Game Boy Color could actually display. So I'll forgive it for that. I mean, that was literally the limit of its technical capability. And instead of 3D models for enemies and characters, they were replaced with sprites. So it was a really weird looking like version of Resident Evil 1. It wasn't the full game. I think it was like the first, I think it was like half a dozen rooms, a couple zombies, and that was it. It was not a large portion of the game. It was just like a proof of concept tech demo that Capcom ended up not following. And then a few years later, somebody actually made a tech demo. A company, I don't remember what company it was, actually pitched Capcom on a Game Boy Advance port of Resident Evil 2. And so they made like a little pitch demo to show Capcom saying, hey, we think we can get a version of Resident Evil 2 running on the Game Boy Advance. And the little demo that they put together for that is actually quite impressive. Again, like actually using 3D models for the enemies and characters. But again, Capcom did not take them up on that again. So yeah, this idea of a classic Resident Evil being ported to a handheld has been around for a little while. Okay, we're going to go back this way. Oh wait, no. I've got everything I need actually. I thought I had to go back to the dining room. I don't. I've got everything I need. So, if only Capcom wasn't quite so cheap on the cartridge capacity, this could have looked significantly better than it does. Okay. Music notes, use. Play Moonlight Sonata for us. Ooh. Oh, I can hear the compression. There we go. So, okay, so we take this. Door closes. Place it, do the old Indiana Jones trick. Replace it with the shitty one to trick it into thinking it's back. Hang on. Alright. Now we go back to the dining room. Oh wait, no. I'm going to go here. Put that in its place. Get the key. Skip cutscenes as well. Oh no, that's... Ah, right, yes. So because this is the rebirth version of the game, more puzzles have been added. The clock chimed 3 times. So, occasionally, you will be presented with unique puzzles exclusive to this version of the games, like this. The clock doesn't just move for you, the clock just... All you've done is solve the first half of the clock puzzle in this version of the game. So it chimed 3 times. Yeah. Can I move the... Okay. There we go. Super easy. Incredibly easy puzzle. I'll take the mansion key. I forget, what key is this? We've got to do the whole... examine it to find out what it is. It's a shield key. Okay. I like the redrawn artwork for the new inventory screen. I don't know if they've completely redrawn all of the sprites, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had to accommodate the lower resolution, but these look pretty good. I would have liked if they had put the life meter on the top screen as well as the map, because they almost solved the problem of having to constantly go back to the inventory screen for both the map screen and the reloading. Unfortunately, they didn't extend that to the life meter as well, so you still have to go to inventory screen just to check your health. But oh well. Can't have everything, I guess. Okay, just checking my... Alright. Armor, okay. I think there's a new encounter in this room. Yeah, so occasionally you will get these weird first-person encounters in this rebirth mode. Where you will basically be controlling either Jill or Chris's knife with the stylus. You motherfucker, you dead? You dead? I think he's dead, yeah. Can't see the blood. Yeah, he's dead. He's absolutely dead. Yeah, Is this guy dead? Nope. Oh well. You can still kick his head off. That's fine. So... Another thing they added to this game that was not in the original PlayStation release was that items of the same type automatically stack, which is not something that happened in the original PlayStation release. I don't remember if they added that for the director's cut, but I definitely know that in the original PlayStation release of Resident Evil 1, if you had pistol ammo on you and you picked up more pistol ammo, instead of combining them, the game would make the new pistol ammo take up an extra space and you would have to manually combine your pistol ammo so it took up less space, which would cause problems sometimes where you might not have had any space left in the inventory, but they've added that in to this version of the game. Do I want the map? I don't need the map. I know where I'm going. Also, let's reload. Man, they just needed to add the health meter to the top screen and it would have been perfect. You would have had all the information you could ever need on the top screen, but unfortunately, I guess for some reason they didn't. Like there's even a space for it, like between the room name and the weapon icon, there's a little space there. They could have had the life meter, but for some reason they chose not to. I don't know. Okay. Getting ready. Here we go. Oh my god. Fuck. Fuck you. Finish the dog off with a knife. Okay. forget. Is there ammo here or is it back the other way? I forget which one has ammo underneath it. If the ammo is even still there in this version of the game, or at least in this mode. Come on. Got him. You see what I mean? Putting the knife on the left shoulder button makes it so much more useful. Oh my god. This is... I'm going to say it. This is the best playing version of Resident Evil 1. Not including the remake, of course. Of course, I mean traditional Resident Evil 1. But oh my god, it's huge! Okay, is this still here? Is it hidden? Yeah, it's just hidden out of view. Secret bullets. Okay. Okay. Jill's character model looks about the same as it did in the PlayStation 1 game. They may have added some more detail, but honestly, the resolution of the DS is so low that even when the model is this close up, it's very tough. It's very tough to tell. I'm sure someone out there has done like has pulled the assets and done a comparison, but yeah. We're going just by normal original DS resolution. It can be very tough to tell, but it looks fine. It looks like there's the same amount of detail. Okay. It's locked. Carving of armor. So here's a question. Did they include the director's cut encounter in this room? So in the original release of Resident Evil 1, this room is pointless. There's nothing in here. There's nothing to get. There's no enemies. There's nothing here. It's a completely pointless room. They added some stuff to this room for the director's cut. So I forget. Is there some? Yeah, they did. Oh, get off. Okay, he's dead. Oh, and I've just realised they did add the health. They did add a health display to the top screen. Okay. So yeah, we have the trifecta. We've got map, ammo, and health displayed on top screen. If you notice, the top screen is now pulsating yellow or orange to some people, indicating that my health is now in caution. So yeah, we do not need, in fact, to go to the inventory screen to check on our health. Alright, perfect. I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. Forgive me. Yeah, you do get bullets, but I want to say that is just... They trade... It is just an encounter where the game... You trade some health for some bullets, basically. There is some... At least the first time he grabs you is unavoidable. He grabs you at least once, guaranteed. Because he spawns just too close to you. Anything in the bath? No, nothing in the bath. Alright. Okay, so... At least Rebirth mode does seem to add in a lot of the extra stuff that was added in for the director's cut on PlayStation 1. Okay. Let's go get ourselves a sandwich. All right. Okay, so director's cut enemy placement as well. So I'm assuming this is not the case in the original, in the classic original mode in this game, but at least in Rebirth mode, they are adding in director's cut enemy placement. So in the original release of the game, this room is empty. There's no enemies in here. In the director's cut, they put 5 zombies in this room. So just run. Get the fuck out of here. No need to waste the ammo. Do the whole song and dance, yeah. Stand in the middle of the room. Look confused.
Hey, what's going on?
Jill? Is that you, Jill? What happened?
Barry, help me please. The door won't open. Quick!
Stay away from the door, Jill. I'm gonna kick this door down. Hurry! This way!
Thank you, Barry.
Barry!
Oh, Barry!
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right. Barry, thanks for saving my life. But Barry, didn't you say you're going back to the dining room to do some research? Why on earth are you here?
I just had something I wanted to check. Now, let's get back to searching for the lost captain and Chris, shall we?
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah.
Never gets old. Never gets old. Okay. Got him. Critical hit. Whoops. Okay. Let's check out this room while we're here. I think there's something in this room as well. I think I want to say there's an encounter in here. Yeah, there is. Fuck your crows. Fucker. Oh my god, fuck off. I just accidentally resized the window because I was clicking so hard. Whoops, sorry about that. There we go. So you get this weird little encounter, which, as you would imagine... Oh no, the crows are still here. Alright. So we didn't get all the crows. Cradle to grave. Alright. Try middle-aged man. Switch below. Nope. I forget. Newborn baby. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Young man. Yes. Middle-aged man. Yes. There's one at the far end, I believe. Old-looking old man. Yes. Yes. Grab that shit. Don't wake up the crows. Oh my god. Okay. Going. This is the one. This is the one. Got him. Yep. Some of the zombies also appear to move a little bit faster in this version of the game as well. Damn. Alright, we'll come back for that, it's fine. Okay. Let's put some shit away. They add like a bunch. Okay, this version of the game, this rebirth version, appears to be using the director's cut as a base and then adding more stuff on top of it. It seems. So, while it does have the director's cut enemy placement, it does seem to be an easier version of the game because they do supply you with a ton of, just a ton of like ammo. Like what? Why are you giving me this much ammo? It's very strange. Don't really need it, but I'll take it, sure. Chemical. So here we have these boxes. Around the game are these strange like treasure chests. I think there's one in every save room, plus there may be a couple more in other rooms as well. I don't quite remember how many there are, but I think there's one in every save room. And these are entirely new additions to this version of the game, where if you solve a little puzzle, you are given some extra items. So you've got 3 moves. You have to match the inner color with the outer color by swapping them around. So we use the stylus to move. Shit. May not have wanted to do that, in fact. Hang on. Reset. So if we line up the 2 arrows, we can, when we hit the button in the center, it will swap out the core colors of these circles. And what you want to do, you want to swap the center colors within 3 moves so that all of the circles are the same color throughout. So let's swap out. Those 2 are correct. Okay, green is now correct, and then that's now correct. And that one's the easiest one in the game. They get a lot more tricky. Take the red herb. Anything else? Just a red herb? Just a red herb. Okay. Not very interesting. I'll put this here. I'm going to put this here. Okay, can we combine these into... Oh, we can. Oh, you can. I want to say in the original PlayStation version, bullets could only stack up to 50. Like, if you had more than 50 handgun bullets, the remaining handgun bullets had to take up another slot. I want to say that's true. I don't quite remember. Yeah, they must have also increased the number of bullets you can have on a stack as well, which is nice. Huh. Yeah. Alright. Oh, we're at an hour and I want to play some more of this game. Like, I'm going to go for a few more minutes before we move to the next game. Okay. Okay, they both died. All right. Yeah, this version of the game seems to be like definitely very easy, much easier compared to any previous version of the game. Even though it's got the extra director's cut stuff in it, this is a very, very easy version of the game. Like, you get given more ammo. Enemies, on average, seem to take fewer hits to down. Like, I've put down, like, several zombies now with just 3 rounds. Like, you could, in theory, down a zombie in 3 rounds in the original PlayStation version of the game, but that was very rare. Very rare. Like, I think enemies would go down. It was randomized. Every time you encountered a zombie, the hit points would be random between. I think they would be randomized between 3 and 7, so they could take as few as 3 bullets to kill, or as many as 7 bullets to kill. I want to say 7's the upper limit. No single zombie should take any more than 7 pistol rounds to down. At least in the original release of the game. I want to say that's true. But yeah, the average life of a zombie is surprisingly low in this version of the game. Okay. Oh, hi. Fuck. Bitch. Oh, he's dead. Okay, whatever. Okay, this is where I don't have the lighter yet, so I've got to come back. Oh, wow. Holy shit, like, I'm getting critical hits. Like, really, this is incredibly easy. Oh my god, they nerfed the fuck out of this game for the DS version. I mean, I suspect if you just played classic mode, it would be exactly the same as the PlayStation version, but I suspect Rebirth mode, this is only in Rebirth mode. I suspect classic mode is just the normal version of the game with normal difficulty. Huh. Botany, yes. Good stuff. Give me the fucking... There we go. Locked it. Nothing uncommon. Footstep sound effects sound a bit weird. Can't get over just how much of like an improvement the new manual reloading is. It's so fast. Oh yeah, again, 3 bullets for a zombie. That should be a rarity, not the norm. What? Am I not lined up with the door? Okay. Armor. Oh, this motherfucker. We've got the bullets. Fuck off. Okay, let's... Okay, that's the way. Armor. We need the armor key. We really need that armor key. Oh my god.
Jill, what's going on? Any clues?
No, but something's wrong with this house.
Whoa. This hall is dangerous. Maybe it's better to secure our escape route first. There must be a back door somewhere. Let's try to find it first, shall we?
Okay, let's separate again.
Just a moment.
Just a moment.
I found something.
What is it?
It's a weapon. It's really powerful, especially against living things. Better take it with you.
But how about you, Barry?
I have this.
Thank you. I'll take this then.
Thank you, Barry. How nice of him to give me a weapon that's useful against living things. So I've mentioned this before in an old video a long time ago, but the intention behind that dialogue was to communicate to the player that there are more than one type of enemy. You have undead enemies and you have living monster enemies. So what that dialogue was meant to communicate to the player is to communicate that if you are fighting living monster enemies, acid rounds are incredibly effective. So, for example, hunters are not undead enemies. They are living monsters. The giant snake you fight is a living monster. He's not undead. Well, actually, the first time you fight him, he's a living monster. The second time you fight him, he's undead. So, acid rounds don't work quite as well on him the second time. But yeah, that's the original information that the game was trying to get across to the player, but the localization is so ham-fisted that all in intentional, like, you know, like information transfer is just lost in translation. It's just, oh, Jesus Christ. It just comes across as incredibly strangely, like, awkward dialogue where it's like, I have a weapon that's very powerful, especially against living things, as opposed to all those weapons that aren't powerful against living things, Barry, thanks. But yeah, that was the original intention behind that dialogue, but it's completely lost in the localization. Let's get ourselves a grenade launcher. Okay, did they add, is the version of Forrest in this game the original version or the director's cut version? Let's find out. Yeah, director's cut. Oh, and they fixed the exploit. Sorry, Forrest. Had to be done. So that's one of my team members from the helicopter we just found. So yeah, okay. So it is the director's cut version of that encounter. Whereas in the original release of the game, if you walk up to Forrest and take his grenade launcher, it summons a bunch of crows that you then just run away and whatever. Forrest does not come alive or become undead. In the director's cut version, instead of the crows, Forrest wakes up and you have to shoot Forrest. So that's the version they added. However, they fixed the exploit. So in the director's cut, if you back up into Forrest, and then so you're standing over the bazooka, you can pick up the bazooka, and you're already facing away from him when he wakes up. So you can just run away from him. which makes that encounter so much faster and easier. You don't have to waste any bullets, or like, it minimizes the risk of taking damage. But in this version of the game, they don't let you pick up the bazooka first time, which is super rude. That makes that little like exploit that I used to do in the director's cut completely useless now. I've played this version of the game a ton when it was new. Like I said, I think I finished this version of the game like 5 times before I put it down. But it's been so long since I last played it, like well over 10 years. I've forgotten a lot of the little details. Huh. Oh, you fuck. Fuck you, Crow. Come on now. Oh my god, you're terrible. Holy shit, 4 shots. Okay, and he's dead, whatever. Okay. Should really reload. There we go. Okay. I've also noticed that when you pull out the gun, Jill will automatically snap to, like her aim will automatically snap to the nearest enemy. That's a little improvement. It's another little improvement they added to this version of the game, which is extra nice. Holy shit, that's new. Yeah, there are normally dogs in that hallway, but they typically don't jump through the very first window. They're normally further down, so that's probably another director's cut edition. Oh boy. That genuinely got me. Like, huh. Okay, let's do another one of these. Oh boy. This one, that one, and then that one. Yeah. A little bit harder, but still pretty easy. Another red herb. I think this is where we will leave it. Like, this is not a groundbreaking DS game. I am fully aware of that. It is... It's in some ways it's kind of disappointing because this version of the game could look better. The DS is capable of this game looking better in terms of color depth and, like, honestly, I also think maybe the backgrounds of the way the backgrounds have been scaled down to the lower resolution is like super rough, because a lot of like diagonal surfaces look really aliased in like a really like uneven way, which suggests that when they were downscaling the backgrounds for the for the DS. They didn't do a very good, they didn't do a very clean job of it. But oh well. But yeah, the DS is capable of a much nicer looking version of this game with like less atrocious color compression and color banding. Like, look at that wall behind Jill. It's just a rainbow of circles of all the color banding. It's like, oh boy, woof. But yeah, I genuinely like this version of Resident Evil 1. It's I'm going to say it is the best playing version of Resident Evil 1. It's so fast. You've got the automatic knife. You've got the manual reload assigned to a face button. You've got the map and health always visible on screen. It's a really nice version of the game. It's kind of crazy how well this version plays. Boy. Hang on. Can we stack directly from the box? No, we can't. Oh well. So let me save the game here, and then we'll say goodbye. So yeah, despite the weird, like, visual ugliness of this version, like, look at that typewriter. There's something about the way that typewriter looks that just looks wrong. It looks like it's been scaled down, like, really roughly. So like the lines of the typewriter buttons don't look correct. You know what I mean? It's like there's something strange about how these images were scaled. But yeah, despite the visual ugliness, I think this is a genuinely really good, really fun version of this game, and I played the shit out of it. So yeah, can we get back to the title screen from here? No. No, oh well. Let's leave that here then. This is Resident Evil Deadly Silence for the DS, a DS game that I really like, despite it not being on my top 10. So let's close that game. And let's, oh god. What the fuck is happening? What is going on with... Oh man, I've completely screwed up my... There we go. I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. Okay, I fixed it. Hang on. I fixed it. Hooray. I think I fixed it. Yes, good. There we go. I fixed it. Right. So that was the first game. Let's load up the second game of this video. This was a game that kind of blew up huge. It is a very popular, it was a very popular game for the DS. It got a ton of sequels and spin-offs. I want to say the most recent game in this franchise didn't come out that long ago, I want to say. I haven't really been keeping up with it, but I want to say these games are still sort of ongoing. Like they're no longer nearly as popular as they used to be, but they're still going, and I genuinely like the first one by level 5. That's right. We are looking at... Oh, where is it? Professor Layton and the Curious Village. This is a game that came out and sold quite well. quite well indeed. I still have my original copy, Professor Layton, with all of the DLC puzzles, I should add. So these games, at least for a while, as far as I know, had extra puzzles that you could download for free over the Nintendo's internet service. They were completely free DLC puzzles. All you had to do was connect to the internet and you would just get them for free. I have all of them on this game cartridge. I'm sure there must be ways for you to patch the ROM and apply them to the emulator version, but I didn't really look into that before doing this, so we won't be able to look at any of the DLC puzzles in this look at the game. I've also got the next 2 games in the series, Professor Layton and Pandora's Box, and Professor Layton and the Lost Future. I think in America, Pandora's Box was called the Diabolical Box, and Lost Future might have also been called something different, but yeah, those are respectively 2 and 3. I want to say they put out 4 games on the original DS. They put out a lot of these games. And then they put out several more on the 3DS, and I want to say there was another one for the Switch. Like, these games kept selling for a while. Oh, I should mention, my copies of Pandora's Box and Lost Future are both sealed. That is, I don't know if you can hear that. That is the sound of a plastic seal. Sealed copies of Professor Layton over here. Probably not worth very much, but hey, I've got them. Alright, let's look at this fucking game. So, this game is a combination... How do I put this? It's a combination adventure game and a, like, traditional puzzle collection. I guess it's not really an adventure game. You're not really picking up items and then selecting them from an inventory to use on the screen. You're more just walking to different locations and talking to specific people. So I guess gameplay wise, it's closer to a visual novel. Sure, it's a visual novel that looks like a classic adventure game. But most of the gameplay is just solving random puzzles. And then a little bit of story to go along with it, so... Okay. There's enough spaces here for me to type Blue Dragon, but I'm just going to type Dragon. To my dear friend Dragon.
The things we saw that day in the village became a secret we would have to keep from everyone for the rest of our lives.
Oh, Luke.
Because, you see...
Luke's voice actor.
I don't understand, Professor. Why are we going to help solve an inheritance dispute?
Because it's our fucking job, Luke.
Luke, my boy, do you really think I would take on such an ordinary request as that?
Someone mentioned in the comments of one of my previous videos that the reason why some games that were very popular on DS haven't received sequels in a very long time is because they may have been milked to death. While that may be true, but I want to say that if you're talking about DS games, DS franchises that were milked to death and then some, Professor Layton is a candidate for that. Like I said, they put out 4 of these things for the original DS, and then like even more afterwards, so...
Oh no, this is an altogether unique and exciting situation.
Level 5.
My intellectual curiosity.
The developer, level 5, squeezed out every single possible drop of blood from this stone.
But I suppose it would be best to explain the case before we arrive at our destination. 2 months ago, Baron Augustus Reinhold passed away. Shortly after his death, his will was disclosed. The contents of it were fascinating, to say the least. The Reinhold family treasure, the golden apple, is hidden somewhere within this village. To whomever successfully locates this treasure, I offer the whole of my estate.
Damn.
Naturally, those who attended the reading of the will immediately set out in search of the golden apple.
I do like the art style in these games. They've got a very, I don't know, a very clean, like, it's strange. I'm not going to call it Ghibli-esque, because Studio Ghibli's art style is not... Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I usually say Ghibli. If it's Ghibli, I apologise, but I typically pronounce it as Ghibli. Studio Ghibli's art style is a little bit different to this. Like, it's not exactly this. It's a little... but it's not so far off, but it's not that far off in a way that you can get away by calling this... You can get away with calling this art style Ghibli-esque.
But in the end...
It's nice. It's just a nice art style.
It turns out that no one had even heard of such a treasure existing, until it's mentioned in the will.
Wow, that's some puzzle, all right.
Shut up, Luke.
Quite. Augustus Reinhold staked his entire fortune just to create one more puzzle before his death. What a perplexing individual. I wish I could have met him while he was still alive.
I love this little car that they have. It is like the most Spartan little thing. It's like, I think it's meant to be like a knockoff of like a Citroen. Is it a Citroen C1? Or I can't forget. It's like an old-fashioned French car. I think it's a Citroen that looks very strange. It's got kind of like a swooped nose and with pop-out bug headlights that look like eyes. I think this is meant to be a knockoff Citroen.
It certainly sounds like you two would have got along, Professor.
And there appears to be no back seat. If you look back there, it's like, is there a back seat behind them too? All I can see is empty space. Like, it looks like there's meant to be a back seat. If you look in the above image, there looks like there might be a back seat. But if you look in the below image, it looks awfully cavernous and empty back there.
By the way, just what is this golden apple anyhow?
Some speculate it's a rare antique, while others say it could be a gem. Yet its identity remains elusive. But Luke, I can't shake the feeling that this matter is linked to some larger mystery. Something huge.
Aha! Is that your famous intuition at work again, Professor?
Well, our first step is getting to town.
Luke, shut the fuck up.
Yes, Professor.
This is all so exciting. I hope Sam Mystere is ready for the famous archaeologist and puzzle-solving detective, Herschel Layton.
Oh, Luke, you know as well as I do that I am no detective. Augustus Reinhold's wife, Lady Dahlia, has asked me to investigate the situation.
So you're not a detective, but you're being asked to investigate the situation. Like, what are you? Like, what is...
It seems she came across my name by chance when reading an article about me in the papers.
Okay.
And you immediately decided to take her up on her request?
Oh, well, Luke, a true gentleman never refuses the request of a beautiful lady.
If you say so, Professor.
We should be nearing the town by now. Look at the map in the envelope and help me with directions.
Right you are, Professor. What in the... What's this?
A lot of voice acting in this game.
Lady Dahlia seems to have given us a test. We'll need to decipher this map in order to find the village.
Okay, so first puzzle incoming.
She wants to see if we're capable of cracking the mystery surrounding the Reinhold fortune. Care to give it a go, Luke?
I'll do my best. A puzzle like this should be no problem for the apprentice of the great Professor Layton.
I should fucking hope not, Luke.
Very well then, Luke. I'll leave this one to you. Think of it as a warm-up for things to come.
Okay, puzzle 1. Where's the village? So, Pickrats is a it's a currency that you can use to purchase things, I think, or unlock things. Here we go. So yeah, you get the hints on the top screen and the puzzle itself on the bottom screen. My village is on a road that leads to no other village. I look forward to seeing you there. Use your stylus to draw a circle around the right village and touch submit. Okay. Da-dum, da-dum. Okay. So this road is completely separated from any other village. I assume that's what they mean. Whereas this one goes to that village and that village, but then bypasses that. And then these are on their old... Draw a circle around the village in one stroke. Once you've circled your selection, tap submit. This seems pretty simple. This seems like the only village that has... I'm going to increase the size. Hang on. This seems like the only village here that is like has a road all to itself. So...
Well, here's my guess. Layton's apprentice saves the day.
The only village that isn't connected by roads to another village is one in the upper left area of the map. Okay, that was just a tutorial. That was the easiest puzzle in the game.
Now we should be able to make our way to the village.
Right you are. We should see it on the horizon any moment now.
Huh? Professor? Do you mean to say you've already worked out the village's location?
I'm afraid I couldn't help myself. A basic puzzle like that is easy enough to solve with a glance. Anyhow, you'd best gather your things, Luke. We've arrived.
Professor, sometimes you can be a real asshole.
Late title screen. Yeah. Nice. Okay, drawbridge. So this is how most of the dialogue in the game is actually delivered, with two character sprites and no voice acting. I think the voice acting is reserved for like key moments in the story, but other than that, very little. So yeah, so you've got this area, you've got the two characters, and then you can tap on things to examine them and learn more about them. The Layton Mobile. So yeah. Only things that actually have information give you a little dialogue box. Swim, but it'd be terribly cold. What's this little bag on this window? No. What's this? Mysteries, the journal. I think that's just recapping parts of the story. Talk to this man here. I'm assuming, like, this is, like, going by the apparent era. This looks like 1930s? 1930s Europe? Like, it might be newer. I mean, he's wearing a baseball cap, so maybe it's newer than that. Maybe it's newer than that. Maybe it's like 19... Hard to tell. It's either 1930s, 1950s, or 1970s or something. Like this could be like 1970s rural France, like going by the baseball cap, and maybe Professor Layton just has an old car. You know, like it's real difficult trying to nail down a specific time period for these games, because every time you think you get an idea for what it's going to be, they throw you for a loop, and then it's like, oh, well, it could be anything. Like, there are certain aspects that are very, like, old worldy, like the top hats and all that, and the look of the villages and the world and the locations. And then there are things that are, like, strangely modern, like there'll be radios and, you know, more modern looking vehicles, or baseball caps like the one that this guy's wearing, and it really like makes it difficult to try and give you a, you know, an idea for when roughly this is meant to be set. Some sort of idyllic mid 20th century version of rural France. I imagine it's France. It seems like France. It could be many places in Central Europe, to be honest. Okay, this guy's going to make me do his fucking homework. Yeah. The Cranken slot. That's what they called my wife. There's no way to lower the bridge and get across without inserting the crank into the correct slot. Choose the slot that fits the crank shown below. Tap the crank to change the viewing angle. Okay, so just looking at the way this looks. So it's a pentagon with two squares and a triangle. That's not it, because the triangle's coming out of a flat side. That's not it, because one of the square pegs is coming out of a point. So yeah, the triangle's coming out of a flat side, one square peg's coming out of a flat side, the other's coming out of a pointed edge. So that's not it, so it must be this one.
There we go. Another puzzle solved.
Now drop that bridge. The Cranken slot is now in your puzzle index. So yeah, any puzzles that you solve, you can, I think you can do them again later. I don't know why you would though, you've already solved them, so it's not like, you know. I guess it's possible you could get most of the way through the game and then forget a lot of the solutions of the earlier puzzles, I guess. It's possible. Scent Mystery. Okay, good name for a village. How to move about during the investigation. Give the shoe icon in the lower right corner of the touchscreen a tap with your stylus. set of arrows will appear. Okay. Alright. Yes, first we're gonna click on some things. Something very curious about that tower. Interesting. Our local export is the puzzle. Well. Time you solve a puzzle, you earn a set number of picarats. The more picarats or picarats a puzzle is worth, the tougher the puzzle will be. They say lovely things happen when you gather enough picarats. Yeah, it's the picarats are a currency that you can use to unlock things, I believe, yeah. If I remember correctly. Okay, 10 picarats. This one's going to be easy then. Strange hats. These 4 top hats are all the same height, but the length of each brim is different. In other words, the hats are equally tall, but vary in width. One of these 4 hats has a brim and height that are the same length. Which hat is it? Oh boy, this is one of those visual, like this is a optical illusion, isn't it? Because my initial instinct is to go for D here, because it's like, okay, this looks roughly about as wide as it looks tall, but this seems like a trick. One of the complaints about this game that people had was that a lot of the puzzles are bullshit. A lot of the puzzles are like are trick questions. That they intentionally don't give you certain specific information in order to trick you into giving the wrong answer, and that's something that a lot of people complained about at the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, people loved these games, at least for a while, but yeah, that was definitely a thing that people brought up. It's like, okay, yeah, a lot of these puzzles are just bullshit. Like, they are intentionally tricking you to make you feel dumb. The way they word the descriptions of the hints is like really like in a way that's not helpful. I'm gonna go with okay. This is the widest one. In terms of width, D is the widest, C is number 2, A is number 3, B is the thinnest. I'm gonna say that it's either C or A. I'm going to go with C.
There we go.
Ah, got it wrong. Oh well.
How embarrassing.
Good things again. So yes, now you're given less picarats when you finish this puzzle, so... A perfect game of Professor Layton involves you getting the maximum number of points. So let's go with A this time.
Luke, here's my answer. Another puzzle solved.
It's a very famous optical illusion. An optical illusion is a visual phenomenon where your eyes are... Whoops. I accidentally skipped that. Oh dear. You can read it on the video. You can always pause. Find lots of puzzles that simply can't be solved by trying all the answers. What? What does that mean? Puzzle 3. What is this dude? This weird dude with the mustache. Keh. Dandy set of fellows you are. Must be the new to scent mystery, eh? Stashen Scarfen. What a great name. stylus. Don't ask questions, just do it. Which one? Which barrel? This barrel? Oh, the one that's wiggling. Hint coin. Limited number of hints. Any object that seems suspicious. Got a hint coin. What's in here? Okay, we've got to head to the manor. Alright, Luke. Bossy boots. This is where they teach you how to save your game. Yep. Exactly. Click on the trunk. Puzzles you've solved have a tick next to them. Puzzles you've seen but haven't solved a blank. Okay, alright, so this does serve a purpose. It's possible for you to find a puzzle and not solve it. Okay. You can come back later. Sure. What's this dude up to? Unofficial writer in residence. Of course. Of course. Alright, give it to me. Can you find my house? Go out the front door of my place and turn left. At the first junction you come across, take a right. Turn right again. At the following junction, you'll come face to face with the morning sun. Circle my house. Okay, so you're facing east. Sun rises in the east and sets in the west, so... Go out the front door, turn left. The first junction you come across, take a right. Turn right again at the next following junction. Nope, so turn left, right, right. Turn left, right, right. Turn left, right, right. It's this one.
That should do it.
Easy.
Another puzzle solved.
Easy peasy. Working backwards is the easiest way to solve this problem. Is it? I just go left, right, right with every house until I find the one that has me facing the right direction, but okay. The Reinhold family owns all of the land this village is built upon. I hear they own all the buildings too. I suppose you could say this village belongs to the Reinholds. That's all from me for now. Check these barrels. Oh, another hint coin. Another one. Looks like... Let's get to the manor. Stop holding shit up. I want to look at the clock. Okay. Oh, here we go. Speaking of clocks, I've got just a puzzle for you. Go on then, why not? Okay, an ordinary analog clock has two hands, with the longer hand moving faster around the face of the clock. Yes. Assuming that this clock keeps perfect time, how many times will the long hand and short hand pass over each other between noon and midnight? Are we including the times? Are we including the times they like from where they start and where they end? Because if we include the times, so starting at 12 noon, the hands on top of each other right now count as one of those times, do they? Or does the minute hand have to go completely from left to right over the hour hand for that to count? See what I mean? It doesn't really give you the information you need, doesn't clarify. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was thinking about this actually. Because if it's an analog clock, the hour hand, by the time the minute hand gets to the hour hand's not going to be on perfectly on the hour anymore. It's going to have shifted slightly, and the amount of space, time, the amount of distance it's going to have shifted off the hour is going to increase with every hour. So I think we might, in fact, lose an hour. God. Oh God. Wait, let me think of this. Let me think of this. Is it 11? Might just be 11 times. Let's try 11 times. But again, are we including from when the hands start moving and when the hands come to rest over each other, or are we not including that? I'm gonna write 11. You can scribble notes in any open space on the touchscreen. When you have your answer, tap the input. Next, you will go to the answer input screen. Write one digit at a time. Make sure the digits have been recognized correctly, and then tap submit. Huh. I'm going to say 11. Here we go. No. Clear.
Well, here's my guess. No, I was sure I had it.
Now, these are for you to try for real, but carefully think about the question. Well, I haven't tried for real, have I? Let's try again. So. Okay. I'm going to assume that the starting position and the resting position at 12 o'clock do not count. Again, this is something that should be clarified in the description. I'm going to assume that the starting and resting position don't count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I swear it's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm swirling the mouse cursor around the clock to just help me visualize. 8. No, it's only 11 if I'm counting the resting position. Let's try 10. For all I know, this is probably wrong as well.
Well, here's my guess.
Okay.
Layton's apprentice saves the day.
Okay, that one was tricky. Oh, that one was actually pretty good. Again, the description should have accounted for whether or not starting and resting position counted as a crossover, but sure, whatever. Yeah. That's it. The hands pass over each other 10 times, but if you think about the answer, it's obvious you might have been tricked by the question. The hands pass over each other once an hour, but since they start and end directly on top of each other, 2 of the 12 hours do not count as a... See, look, they tell you that in the answer, but not in the description. That's fucking rude. That's the kind of... that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Some of the puzzles feel a bit bullshit because they don't give you enough information. Oh well, whatever. Oh well. That was a tricky puzzle, I'll give them that. Alright, let's move on. Let's head to the right. Look at that man standing in the street. Blocking the path to the Reinhold Manor. How terribly rude. It's a wide street. Walk around him, Luke. Oh my god. He's not that fat. Jesus. Let's just try walking past him. Nope, not going to let me. Any coin there. Let's talk to this weirdo. Hold up. Another puzzle. This is the entire game. You going from place to place and being accosted by people who demand that you solve their puzzle. Okay, here we go. Here we have 8 small weights that all look the same. However, one of the weights in the group is slightly lighter than the rest. Using this scale 2 times, you can find out which of these weights is lighter than the rest. So which weight is the light one? Huh. Load the weights you want to measure onto the scale with your stylus. When you've finished arranging the weights, press the red button to weigh them. One of the weights in the group is slightly lighter than the rest. Okay, 1 and 2. Oh, using no more than 2, using the scale 2 times. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. I presume that they randomly shuffle the weights every time you restart the challenge. So okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's 5, 6, 7, 8 is the... You could just brute force this, right, and just hope that the 2 weights you select are weights that are of different weight. Because if you did this and you ended up with the 2 weights, then you'd have 2 weights to choose from, and your chance of getting the correct answer would be 50-50. So And I'm sure they don't want you to brute force it, because that doesn't seem like the correct way to do this. Let's spend a hint coin. You're not weighing 2 sets of 4 weights on your first use of the scale, are you? If you do that, you'll only have 1 more chance left to determine which of the 4 weights is the right one. But you already know that, right? Oh, okay. Are they... Because this feels... Okay. This feels like a form of brute forcing, because if we did it this way, and I'm guessing they are randomly rearranging the weights every time you hit restart. I mean, I'd hope they are, otherwise this is not really a puzzle. This is just a way for you to... You just hit restart as many times as you need to home in on the correct one. 5, 6. So 5 and 6. Either 5 or 6. Okay. 6 is the lightest one.
There we go. Critical thinking is the key to success.
Okay, I don't know. That didn't feel like a puzzle. That just felt like... To solve this puzzle with no guesswork, you must load... Oh, no, I didn't do that. I just got lucky. You must load 3 weights on each side of the scale for your first measurement. If you manage to get that far, the rest is easy. No, I didn't figure that one out. I just, by sheer luck, the weights that I had chosen just happened... The 4 weights I chose just happened to include the light one. Okay, yeah, that feels... That puzzle felt like it was super easy to brute force. Okay. Bad puzzle. Who the hell is this figure? Weird looking gentleman with his black lipstick. Ahoo hoo hoo. All been expecting you. But ahoo hoo. Another hoo-hoo hooligan in a top hat. You get many hooligans wearing top hats around these parts? We'll get to the manor house and then we'll end the video because we are over 2 hours now. Wolves and chicks. Get the 3 wolves and 3 chicks seen below to the other side of the river. While obeying the following conditions, no more than 2 animals can ride the raft at the same time. There must be at least 1 animal on the raft in order for it to move. If more wolves than chicks stay on either side of the river, the wolves will eat the chicks and you'll have to start over. You can move the raft as many times as you like, but this feat can be accomplished in as few as 11 moves. Okay. Load animals onto the raft by dragging them. The raft can carry a maximum of 2 animals at once. When your raft holds 1 or more animals, slide your stylus to move it to the opposite shore. 1 animal on board. Okay. 1 wolf. 1 bird. More wolves than chicks. Shit. Oh no, restart. Okay. Bird, wolf. not a good idea. I like how the remaining chick looks incredibly freaked out by this. It's like, this is not a good idea. Okay, I've got an idea. Move the wolves over. Wolf back. No, because if I move the... Oh, shit. No, I'm screwed. If I move a chick, that will leave fewer chicks on the right-hand side. If I move a wolf back over to the left, the chick on the left-hand side will be outnumbered. Okay. This is clever. Oh, God. Okay, this is actually like a thinking one. Shit. Right. What if we... What if we start with 2 wolves? Hang on. Bring a wolf back. 2 wolves again. Wolf back. 2 chicks. Bring a wolf and a chick back. Okay, yeah, because then that will prevent that. Oh, shit. Wolf back. I think we've got this, motherfucker. It doesn't matter what I send now, because even if I send a chick back, they won't be outnumbered, so... Yeah, I've got it. I figured it out. 11 moves. Look at that. Pow! Victory. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It does feel pretty good when you, like, successfully solve a puzzle. It's like, ooh. Maybe I'm not an idiot after all. This puzzle can be solved in as few as 11 trips. How many trips did it take you? 11! I'm a smart boy. Fun fact, there are several variations of this type of river crossing puzzle, and they've appeared in writings dating back over 1,000 years ago. Okay. Good to know. Imagine accosting someone in the street. It says, "You there, random stranger. Solve this puzzle." And they just hand you a strange, like, children's puzzle. That'd be so weird. Prove to me you are who you say you are by solving this puzzle. Like, what? That would be so weird. Wolves and chicks. It's a nice little cutscene there that used both screens. It's a nice little touch. Chapter 1 finished. All right, we'll look at the intro to Chapter 2 and then we'll end. Professor and Luke finally arrive at the Reinhold Manor. Okay. Let's click on some things. Trees. One could view the entire village from up there. Trying to... Oh, found one. Thought so. Clicking on every window. Just the one? Just the one, it seems. Just the one. Fair enough. This random dude. I'm Matthew, butler and servant. Everyone's waiting upstairs for you. But before we go, I have a message from Lady Dahlia. Solve this puzzle! Fucking shit, I called it. Yeah, of course. Duh. Almost any time anyone talks to you in this game, it's because they want you to solve a puzzle. It's okay. Alright. We're in deep now. We know what this is. Oh, fucking matchstick puzzles. Here we go. Rotate the matchstick. Tap the end. God, matchstick puzzles. These are the infamous, these are probably the most infamous puzzles in this game. Some of these matchstick puzzles are incredibly hard. Puzzle 9. One poor pooch. Wait, did we miss a puzzle? No, I don't think we did. Wait, I don't remember. Did we miss a puzzle? No. No? I'll check in a sec. Because it's possible to do these puzzles out of order, where you might accidentally miss one and then do a later one first, and then... I forget. What was the previous puzzle we did? Was it number 7 or number 8? I don't remember what it said. We'll find out afterwards. The matches below are arranged in the shape of a dog. This poor little doggy was just minding his own business when a car came barreling over the road and ran him over. Ick. Move 2 matches to change the picture so that it shows the dog after the accident. All puzzles are a matter of perspective. Don't assume that you'll be looking at the dog from the side by the time you're finished with this one. Don't assume that you'll be looking at the dog from the side by the time you're finished. Change the matchsticks to reflect, to change the picture so that it shows the dog after it's been run over. This is a very grisly one. I'm not sure I like this one. Don't really want to imagine visualising a dog that's been run over, thanks. The original shape shows the dog walking. Think about how that shape will change after the dog gets hit by the car. Oh, God. So, okay, head, tail, legs. Don't assume you'll be looking at the dog from the side. So it's not going to be... Oh, you don't have that many moves. You can only move 2 matches. Okay, only moving 2 matches. Okay. So it wouldn't be the dog on his back with his legs in the air, because that would require us moving 4 matches, plus that would also be looking at the dog from the side. What if... Again, this is a kind of a grisly puzzle, like gross. Like, what if you're looking down at the dog from the top? And it's like, oh God, and it's like squashed on the road, so its legs are like splayed out either side of it. That's, again, it's like a really grisly, like, idea for a puzzle. Couldn't they have come up with something a little bit less dog unfriendly? I like dogs. I don't like to visualise dogs getting run over. That's not really something I enjoy. Try that.
That should do it.
Okay, apparently that was the answer.
Puzzle solved.
Sure. Yeah, look. The car flattened the poor dog. Let this be a lesson to you. Be aware of your surroundings when driving. You'll be aware of your surroundings when crossing the road. Jesus Christ. That's absolutely correct. My commendations, sir. Alright, let's meet this Lady Dahlia and then we'll call this a video. Up the stairs.
Oh? Oh, you must be Professor Layton, I presume. It's an honor to make your acquaintance.
Oh no, the pleasure's all mine.
No!
Luke!
Come back, sweetie!
What is that accent? Okay, we've met this strange woman and her cat, and there's been an earthquake. The mystery compounds. Her cat's run off. My little honeykins, my smoochy pie, my baby. Oh, God. Alright. Let's leave this here. So yeah, I like the original Professor Layton a lot. It's not perfect. It's got, like I said, a lot of the puzzles are written in a way that might not give you enough information. But I think it's kind of I like the vibe of the game. I like the art style. I like the idea. But yeah, some of the puzzles feel a little bit unfairly presented to the player, where it genuinely sometimes feels like you're not getting enough information to solve the puzzle effectively. But yeah, like a lot of the puzzles don't have that problem, but yeah. Neat game. Neat game. If only they hadn't milked it to death like they did. Like, they were putting one of these games out every 6 months for a while. It was crazy. Anyway, that's enough from me. I shall see you next time. What games am I going to do next time? Let's go down the list. What's after Resident Evil and Professor Layton? Okay. So, next time will be a special one. We'll be dealing with 2 games that require you to use the DS in a very strange fashion. One of them is on my top 10 list, so we'll be getting back to that next time, but yeah, we'll save that for next time. So, as always, thank you for watching. My name is The Real Blue Dragon, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.